Jack was a real fun character to kind of sink your teeth into, because he's kind of an anti-hero. And Spencer asked, I said, well, we're going to give you this scar. And I said, well, where did the scar come from? And he says, well, I don't know, maybe you were a missionary or something like that. So I came back the next day, and I had a complete backstory for the entire character, because it hadn't really been fleshed out for that at this point yet. So I had that he had been a missionary, and that's how he learned how to speak Cree in the first place. And he was teaching the natives about Christianity, and in order for them to be able to gain his full trust, or to trust him completely, I needed to go into an Indian sweat lodge. And in the Indian sweat lodge, the vision that I had, I saw the atrocities that were being done to the native people because of bringing in alcohol and changing things around with that there. So the scar itself, which is an upside down cross, an inverted cross, was actually self-inflicted, which I did coming out of there. Kind of basically took the collar, tossed the collar, and became this bounty hunter. And that's what he's been doing for about 20 years now. There's a few that I've done in the past. It usually ends up being that most of the stuff that I end up doing is all horror films. I did one, it'd be close to about 8 or 9 years ago, called The Muffin Man, where I play a character that's actually quite similar to Jack in the fact that he's kind of gruff, but he's more of a Humphrey Bogart kind of character that's hunting down this crazed baker. The other show that Spencer's been talking about, the 1042 Tuesday, I'm actually in that. That's a 2-person one that we've got that we're working in post-production now, and that's closer to like a psychological sort of a thriller Saw kind of thing. So those are the main ones I've been working on right now, and just waiting as we get things together in order to do the Dead Walkers feature, and hopefully into a TV series from there. So he gives you a lot of freedom, which is nice. He takes you off to the side and lets you know exactly what he wants you to do, and he'll give you an idea without actually telling you how to do it. And then you go through and you'll do it 3 or 4 times, and he'll give you a little bit of insight of which direction he wants it to go. He fully trusts his actors in order to be able to bring out the character that he's cast them for in the first place, and that makes things a lot easier for us to be able to go with it, because he gives us enough room that we can kind of let the character grow the way that we see fit. And if he wants some tweaking done with it, well, then we just do it that way. I had to fight a little bit for one thing. The fight scene that we had between myself and the zombie sheriff was actually quite a bit longer, and it was just too long, so they had to cut it way down. But they were actually going to have it so that I was actually just going to get my butt kicked pretty quickly without getting any good shots in. And I told him there's no way that Jack would allow him to do that. And we had a little tete-a-tete on that there, and ended up getting 3 or 4 good headshots on him first before he, basically rips my heart out of my chest. It happens. More the stand-up arcade. I do a little bit of stuff. I've actually spent a little bit of time. Actually, I've done voiceovers for different video games too. I've done one called Inuyasha, and I was the lead bad guy in Mega Man 10 Command Mission. A guy by the name of Colonel Red Dip, which is kind of interesting because playing the game, I've never beaten my character. So every time I lose, it's basically my own laughter taunting me.